Today, we're going to talk about something a little unsettling. This isn't another story about AI taking our jobs. This is about something way more personal. What these incredible tools might be doing to our actual brains.
So let's just get right to it. Think about it. We're all using tools like ChatGPT every single day. They're fast, they're convenient, but what if there's a hidden cost? A price we're paying without even noticing it? And this isn't some far-off science fiction idea. This is happening right now. Neuroscientists are looking at the data, and what they're starting to see is something that, well, we all really need to understand.
Look, this is the real shift in the conversation. We've all heard the debates about the economy, right? About automation. But the much deeper and, honestly, more important question is how this technology is fundamentally changing our cognitive processes, the very way we think, the way we remember, the way we create. Every convenient tool in history, from the calculator to the GPS in your phone, has come with some kind of trade-off. But new, and pretty startling, research suggests that with AI, the trade-off might be our own brain activity. And here's what makes this so urgent. The researchers behind this study felt their findings were so significant, so important, that they actually released them before the normal lengthy peer review process. They basically said, the public needs to know about this now. And this is the number that got everyone's attention. A 47% collapse in brain activity and neural connections when people wrote an essay using ChatGPT, compared to when they wrote it without any help. Almost half. A nearly 50% drop in cognitive engagement. So check this out. This table basically shows you how they figured that out. They used EEG scans to watch people's brains as they wrote. And just look at the difference. The no tool group, their brains are lit up. They're firing on all cylinders, connecting ideas across a wide network. The Google search group is somewhere in the middle, still doing a lot of the work. But the ChatGPT group, wow, their brain activity is the weakest, the narrowest, by a huge margin. It's almost like the brain just decided to sit back, put its feet up, and let the machine do all the driving. This quote from neuroscientist Dr. Daniel Amen really gets to the heart of it. Our brain is an efficiency engine. It's not lazy, it's just really, really good at conserving energy. If an outside tool is doing the heavy lifting, the brain just powers down those parts to save fuel. It adapts. You know, there's actually a name for this. It's called cognitive offloading. And we do it all the time. We offload remembering phone numbers to our contacts list. We offload navigation to our GPS. We offload simple math to a calculator. But now, for the first time, we're starting to offload the incredibly complex job of thinking itself. So how does this actually work? What are the specific things happening inside our heads when we rely on these tools? How does this cognitive offloading actually reshape our mental hardware? I mean, we've all heard this phrase, right? Use it or lose it. But it is a profound neurological truth. The neural pathways in your brain are just like muscles. The more you work them out, the stronger they get. The moment you stop using them, they start to weaken, to atrophy. And this isn't just a metaphor, it's biology. And it has serious implications for long-term brain health, even things like the risk of dementia. So when we hand over our thinking to AI, we start to see four things happen pretty much immediately. We engage less in that deep, critical thinking. We start outsourcing our memory, making it tougher to recall things on our own. We become dependent on the shortcut. And maybe most importantly, our minds shift from being active creators to passive consumers. And get this number from that same MIT study is just staggering. 83% of the people who used ChatGPT couldn't accurately remember or even quote what they had just written, sometimes only minutes earlier. Why? Because they weren't really part of the creative process. The information was never properly encoded into their memory in the first place. Now, this is so important. Not all AI use is the same. The experts draw a really clear line here. There's a healthy way to use it and an unhealthy way. Healthy use is interactive. It's a conversation, where AI is like a sparring partner that helps you sharpen your ideas. Unhealthy use is just deferral. It's where you just type in a prompt, passively accept what it gives you, and outsource the entire cognitive load. You're the thinker, or you're just the prompter. So this brings us to the long-term picture. Because while the immediate effects are a bit worrying, the real danger might be this slow, quiet drift towards cognitive dependency, not just for us as individuals, but maybe for our whole society. And this timeline really maps out how a simple convenience could spiral into a serious problem. You know, for the first couple of years, it just feels efficient. You're saving time. But then maybe 3 to 5 years down the line, as your brain adapts, your critical thinking skills can actually start to weaken. Reliance turns into dependency. And here's the really scary part, the long-term risk of cognitive debt. That MIT study found that even after they took the AI tool away, the participants' brains stayed in that low-gear mode. The habit of not thinking lingers. And this points to a more subtle but maybe more profound loss. Our brains grow and get stronger through struggle. Learning something new is supposed to be hard. That difficulty, that friction, is what builds resilience and creates strong memories. By removing that productive struggle, AI might be accidentally robbing us of a key part of our cognitive and even our character development. So let's zoom out for a second, from the science to the deeply personal side of this. What happens when the act of thinking something so central to who we are is no longer essential? The difference between assistance and replacement, it's subtle, but it is everything. A tool helps you do something better. It augments your own ability. An agent, on the other hand, replaces your ability. When we treat AI as an agent that we just defer to, we're not just getting help, we're stepping aside and letting it take over a core function of what makes us human. And that leads to this massive question. If we outsource our reasoning, our creativity, our problem solving, what is the essential purpose of the human mind? What's left for us to do when all the effort is gone? So if we're really starting to outsource the very act of thinking, it forces us to look at where we're headed. We're at a crossroads, facing these huge questions about the future of our own minds. We have more information at our fingertips than any human beings in history, right? But does having access to answers make us smarter? Or are we just becoming more and more dependent on the tools that give us those answers, while our own ability to find them gets weaker? And this is the final trade-off we have to face. In our constant search for a faster, easier, more convenient life, are we accidentally weakening the very mental muscles that allowed us to build this world in the first place? This technology is not going away, so the only way forward is to be intentional about how we use it. The next time you open up an AI tool, just ask yourself one simple question. Am I using this to enhance my thinking or as a shortcut to avoid it? The choice is ours every single day. If you think this is an important conversation, share this with someone you know, and let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching.